Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, and it is Friday today. It is also May Day today, which is a bank holiday, but not this time. But it'd be quite good if you could find out what May Day is, how it's celebrated, and why it's celebrated as well. However, we are going to carry on reading Horrid Henry. We're just at the bit where Margaret was adding lots of food to the bowl. Just try and remember what happened before. So we had porridge, said Henry, and he poured some into the bowl. Margaret opened the fridge and looked inside. She grabbed a small container. Soggy semolina, shouted Margaret. Into the bowl it went. Coleslaw, spinach, coffee, yogurt, flour, vinegar, baked beans, mustard, peanut butter, mouldy cheese, pepper, rotten oranges, and ketchup, shouted Henry. He squirted in the ketchup until the bottle was empty. Now mix, said Margaret. Horrid Henry and moody Margaret grabbed hold of their spoons with both hands. Then they plunged the spoons into the glop and began to stir. It was very hard, heavy work. Faster and faster, harder and harder they stirred. There was glop on the ceiling. There was glop on the floor. There was glop on the clock and glop on the door. Margaret's hair was covered in glop. So was Henry's face. Margaret looked into the bowl. She had never seen anything so yucky in her entire life. It's ready, she said. Horrid Henry and moody Margaret carried the glop to the table. They sat down and stared at the sloppy, slimy, sludgy, sticky, smelly, gooey, gluey, gummy, greasy, gloopy glop. Right, said Henry. Who's going to eat some first? There was a very long pause. Henry looked at Margaret. Margaret looked at Henry. It's not really what you want to be eating, is it? Me, said Margaret. I'm not scared. She scooped up a large spoonful and stuffed it in her mouth. Yeah, she is there. You know that glop inside her. Wonder what her reaction's going to be. Then she swallowed. Her face went pink and purple and green. How does it taste? Said Henry. Good, said Margaret, try not to choke. Have some more then, said Henry. Your turn first, said Margaret. Henry sat for a moment and looked at the glop. My mum doesn't like me to eat between meals, said Henry. Henry, hissed moody Margaret. Henry took a tiny spoonful. More, said Margaret. Henry took a tiny bit more. The glop wobbled lumpily on his spoon. It looked like Henry did not want to think about what it looked like. He closed his eyes and brought the spoon to the mouth. Yum, said Henry. You didn't eat any, said Margaret. That's not fair. She scooped up some glop, and I dread to think what would have happened next if they had not been interrupted. Can I come out now? Called a small voice from outside. It's my turn to be Hook. Horrid Henry had forgotten all about Perfect Peter. Okay, shouted Henry. Peter came to the door. I'm hungry, he said. Come in, Peter, said Henry sweetly. Your dinner is on the table. Poor Perfect Peter. That is the end of that chapter. The next chapter is Horrid Henry's holiday. Have a look at the picture, think about what he's going to be doing on this holiday. Does not look like he's having much fun there. Horrid Henry hated holidays. Henry's idea of a super holiday was sitting on the sofa, eating crisps and watching TV. Unfortunately, his parents usually had other plans. Once they took him to see some castles, but there were no castles. There were only piles of stones and broken walls. Never again, said Henry. The next year he had to go to a lot of museums. Never again, said Mum and Dad. Last year they went to the seaside. The sun is too hot, whined Henry. The water is too cold, Henry whinged. The food is yucky, Henry grumbled. The bed is lumpy, Henry moaned. This year they decided to try something different. We're going camping in France, said Henry's parents. Hooray, said Henry. You're happy, Henry? Said Mum. Henry had never been happy about any holidays plans before. Oh yeah, said Henry. Finally, they were doing something good. Henry knew all about camping from moody Margaret. Margaret had been camping with her family. They'd stayed in a big tent with comfy beds. A fridge, a cooker, a loo, a shower, a heated swimming pool, a disco and a great big giant TV with 57 channels. Is that what you think he's going to be doing camping? Oh boy, said horrid Henry. Bonjour, said perfect Peter. The great day arrived at last. Horrid Henry, perfect Peter, Mum and Dad boarded the ferry for France. Henry and Peter had never been on a boat before. Henry jumped on and off the seats. Peter did a lovely drawing. The boat went up and down and up and down. There's Peter's drawing of them on the boat going across the sea. Henry ran back and forth between the aisles. Peter passed stickers in his notebook. The boat went up and down and up and down and up and down. Henry sat on the revolving chair and spun around. Peter played with his puppets. The boat went up and down and up and down and up and down. Then Henry and Peter ate a big greasy lunch of sausages and chips in the cafe. The boat went up and down and up and down and up and down. What's going to happen? Henry began to feel queasy. Peter began to feel queasy. Oh no, they look like they're going to be sick. Henry's face went green. Peter's face went green. I think I'm going to be sick, said Henry, and threw up all over Mum. I think I'm going to be, said Peter, and threw up all over Dad. Oh no, said Mum. Never mind, said Dad. I just know this will be our best holiday ever. Will it? Finally, the boat arrived in France. After driving, they reached a campsite. It was even better than Henry's dreams. The tents were as big as houses. Henry heard the happy sound of TVs blaring, music playing, and children splashing and shrieking. The sun shone, the sky was blue. Wow, this looks great, said Henry. But the car drove on. Stop, said Henry. You've gone too far. We're not staying in that awful place, said Dad. They drove on. Here's our campsite, said Dad, a real campsite. Henry stared at the bare, rocky ground under the cloudy, grey sky. Wonder what their campsite's going to be like. Probably not what Moody Margaret said. Okay, thank you for listening. We're going to finish that book off on Monday and then do another book on Tuesday. Okay, have a lovely Friday and I'll see you Monday. Bye.